a minute. It says only admins can send a message. In the group
All
you
right.
have posted the link.
All right, then let it be. If people would like to join, I think they can come
It's in
in.
the events and yeah, that's the group, right? The events and announcements.
Yeah, let it be
Yeah.
it, Rahul. Thank you for
Okay.
joining.
Okay.
All right. So, how we go about this generally, I think we do have people who are joining in for the first time today. Can you guys please momentarily let me know by a show of hand? All right. Hi, Urmila, your first time. Memo, you've been here with us in the Coach Connect.
The first time, no, it's not the first time for me.
I'm not sure whether it's my first time or what because there's so many with
Exactly.
CJ.
I get that. All right. So the idea of this Coach Connect is pretty simple that yes, we get to interact with coaches from all over the world. We carry a theme every month which allows us to hold conversation in a dedicated space. And the idea is also to have fun. So this is not a space where you have to be wearing your coaching hat. The idea is to take that hat off for a little while, be gentle, be kind, and be human basically. So I invite you to this space and I'll be sharing my screen. Please let me know once you're able to see it. All right. All right. So coaching for change is the theme for April. The agenda is pretty simple. We do a little bit of an icebreaker and a meet and greet with each other. We discuss what are the community initiatives. We talk the beyond bio is where we go deep. We do a little bit of exercise and fun activities. And we of course take away few closing thoughts and upcoming opportunities to discuss. So, in terms of meeting rules, please be on mute when not speaking, raise a hand when you need to speak, and keep an eye on the chat box for queries. All right, so this is the share your story slide. This is especially for the people who are coming in this space for the first time. If you could let us a little bit about yourself, if you could share that. Urmila, would you like to start?
Sure. My name is Urmila, as you can see it on the screen. I am from Maharashtra in India, but I'm living in Bangalore for almost 17, 18 years now. I'm a PCC certified coach and an HR professional for the last 30 years. Um, yeah, so it brings in a lot more, HR experiences in my coaching and conversations with my clients. My coaching niche and specialty is career coaching and also executive coaching because a lot of times people would like to, have a coach when they are doing really well and climbing up the ladder successfully. And at the lonely, it gets lonely at the top. Um, Fun fact about myself. Well, I'm a fun loving person, but I don't know what to call as a fun fact for myself. All I can say is that I do sometimes funny things without realizing that I'm being watched as a leader and as a coach. And sometimes my daughter, my 16-year-old, gets really embarrassed in public places when, I'm just myself and I dance and I, sing loud. So, yeah, that's a little bit funny. Uh, One goal I'm excited about 2025 is that I've been in the coaching space for 6 years. This year, for the last 2 years, I'm a freelancer. So this year, my goal is to launch my own website and look at, taking it a little bit more wider to my clientele and my fellow coaches. The reason I'm saying fellow coaches is because my website will also have a space for people who would want to collaborate and work as a team. Um, how you hope to engage with CJ community? I have been not a new timer to the CJ community now. For the last 3 months, I've been there on the groups. I'm reading all the chats, small little comments I'm making. I feel this is a lovely community that I've joined, and I'm so grateful for being in this space. I think I would like to engage a lot more, but I'm still exploring. So this is why I'm showing up for this meeting today. Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you, Well, I think your participation and your fun presence is the first way to engage. Anybody else who want to go next? Shirish, I think we are seeing you here for the first time. I don't think he can hear us. Mehmood, would you like to go?
Yeah. When Urmila say her fun facts, yeah, I could visualize her dancing and singing and the children cringing. Oh, I love that. Thank you for that. Yeah, always people ask me, how do I pronounce your name? And I always introduce myself as the moon, it's mine. So it's my moon. Yeah. So I'm based in Putrajaya. That's very near to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. I am an ACC and SCTC. So hopefully I'll get my PCC soon. I'm about 400 hours now. So I'm not sure whether I can do the 100 hours this year. Hopefully I could. I'm not in a hurry, but I'm not lagging. I try not to lag also, you know. So I let the flow takes care of itself. Yeah. So my specialty is really social leadership coaching, or I call it impact leaders coaching. Really more geared towards the social impact sector. So the people I work with are like NGOs, social entrepreneurs, very socially conscious leaders. At the same time, they could be in corporate also. But if they have a social agenda, those are the people. And I love to work with middle management because I think I've given up the C-suite. I was from the C-suite, and I think they are all so hard in the so fixed in how they do things. I love to work with middle management and young upcoming leaders. Fun fact about myself, I'm a grandma of 6. So I don't know whether that's fun or what, but yeah, I'm enjoying where I am in the space I am now. I found coaching when I retired from my corporate job, and it has been a wonderful journey since I retired just before COVID. One goal I'm excited about for 2025 is that I recently did a certification on IDG, and it really I find that how it come back to where I started, because my last role in corporate was a CSR director for the group, and it's very much talking about sustainability, capacity building, and with IDG, it came back together. And I'm very excited about that. So bringing in the SDG conversation with an IDG coaching tool, it sort of filled up my toolbox. Yeah, I've been since last year, I've been very actively working in the Coach Me space. Did 2 projects on this, and one project is still ongoing. And because of that, I'm inspired now to really relook what other things I could work on in my offering to the community I'm working with, because working with all the students, understanding a little bit more, because education space is where I am also very passionate about. So I'm very excited to see how much more I could go into that, and how I could leverage on the CJ community to work on the new space that I'm thinking of. Yeah, very excited about 2025.
Thank you so much, Maimon. Lovely introduction. Um, we do have new faces in here. If anybody would like to share about themselves, this is a good point. Shirish, Pooja, Bharat, Gabby.
I'm a very old face, GC. You can see white beard and just kidding. Yeah, sorry, white beard and all.
For this
So,
space.
okay, for this space. So my name is Shirish Raj. I'm based out of Saharanpur. That's in Uttar Pradesh, a very small town. I'm an ACC coach, and I'm in no hurry to get to PCC. Uh, so that's fun. I'm taking my time, learning on the way, moving forward. Coaching niche specialty. I believe I'm a life coach. Um, because ultimately it comes down to your what is going inside you. That's what coaching is. You might come up with any kind of transactional topic. My experience is that couple of sessions and it's the same old emotions that everybody has that needs to be taken care of, same limiting beliefs. Fun fact, okay, if I don't know it's a fun fact or not, I'm a very young coach. Goal excited. Yeah, there are two goals. I'm very excited. One is I am going into transformation coaching now. The course will be starting in May. It's a 6-month course, 24 classes. I'm very excited, looking forward towards it because I feel myself short at times when I'm coaching people, when it needs to go deep inside. And that's why the transformation coaching. How do you hope to engage with CJ community? Oh, so I've been very, I've not been engaging at all in the last few months. I don't know what I was doing, but if you ask me what I was doing, I don't have any answer to that. But I've not been able to connect. So I'll try to be more present with various things that I am in the community. That's how I'll engage, I believe. That's the first step I should be taking now. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Shirish. And thank you so much, Gabby, for dropping in your intro. I love the fun fact you love collecting wild asparagus. Oh, that's interesting. All right. Anybody else would like to come in and share their introduction?
Sure. I can go. Hi,
Yeah.
good morning, good evening. So my name is Bharat. I'm coming from Toronto, um, Canada, of course. And my coaching credentials, like I'm working towards ACC. I have, tons of hours kind of under the belt already. Now I just need to go through the certification exam and things of that nature. My coaching niche and specialty, so I'm gravitating more towards like life coaching, self-transformation, and wellness coaching. So that's kind of the field I'm eyeing at. Fun fact about me, I'm a laughter yoga leader. Um, um, ever since I've discovered, laughter yoga, like it's been self-transformational in many ways. And, and I'd love to bring that to people. And every single session that I've kind of get myself into, it's just a new discovery, a self-discovery of a sort. It's like you do the same process, but every moment, because every moment is new and you're just learning so much about yourself. I love that, and then I'd love to share that. My goal that I'm excited for 2025 is bringing wellness in fun ways to corporates and even smaller spaces too, for life coaches or any coaches, or even if it's like virtually. I'd love to offer those services in that way. Um, how I hope to engage with CEJ community. Well, first and foremost, I am definitely learning so much in the background, and I'd love to, as I'm kind of sharpening my tools, I'd love to share that. And in the process, I'd like to provide inspiring spaces because it's fulfilling for me, and I'm sure a lot of coaches can benefit also. Um, and yeah, so thank you.
Thank you, Bharat. All right. Does anybody else want to share? Or we can move forward. I already know Pooja and Priya and Rahul and Jesse. All right. Let's move forward.
I'll just share one fun fact about me. I have a hen as my pet, so I just posted that photo in the chat box. Yeah, I'll not take much time.
Bring him in for the meeting. GC, bring your pet for the meeting, please.
Quite a big hen, and that's lovely.
Lovely. For people who are joining this space for the first time, I'll quickly go through my introduction. My name is Jaskiran Kaur. I'm based in Noida, which is Delhi NCR, India. My coaching credentials are I'm done with my ACC training. I have not applied for the exams yet. I am further ahead. I think I'm about to complete my 300 hours. I took the path of making this my active profession first. So certification and something, it's something that's happening on the back end for me. My coaching niche and specialty, I work as a life coach. I'm also a trained NLP therapist. And my niche is working with millennials because I'm a millennial myself. So that's the audience I think I'm able to best help. A fun fact about myself, I think it's interesting. I wouldn't say that it's fun that I'm recently back from a very transformative women wellness retreat journey. I'm sharing about it all over Instagram and LinkedIn, and I think it has been one of those experiences that I will always look back as a core memory. One goal that I'm excited for 2025, it recently got updated after the retreat. I want to hold my own retreat this year. So that's my goal. I already am a part of the CJ Community Builder team. So if at any point of time, if there is something that there is an idea that you want to bring across the CJ community, please reach out and we will make sure that it gets the right kind of audience and we share your gift with others. That's about me. All right. Um, so generally we begin this call by talking about the builders team. I think you might be familiar with few of the faces on the screen. This is your go-to team for any kind of events or resources or growth. Feel free to reach out to any of us. We also talk about the initiatives that right now we have. You may be again familiar with few of these initiatives. There are few things which are still in the process. So if you really want to highlight or if you are interested in picking up any of these initiatives, do let us know and we'll make sure that we again bring it to the top. What's in it for you? I think for few people who have been part of CJ, they do realize that it is a wholesome community. These are the kind of things that we offer back. Professional growth, visibility, collaboration, enhance your credibility. You get to explore and experiment. Of course, you get to empower yourself and others while you are on the coaching journey. I'm moving fast from these slides because I'm really excited about the activities for today. Future initiative, again, these are few ideas which are right now in the ideation stage. If anything strikes as an interesting aspect or an interesting idea for you, please take a note of it. Feel free to connect back to the community builders, and we will make sure that it is something that we prioritize and take into action in 2025. All right, here comes the fun part. So I'll just quickly check if somebody else needs to be let in. All right. So Considering the theme for this month is change, let's play a fun little game. When you hear the word change, what's the first word that comes to your mind? Please don't answer as a coach. Please don't overthink. Just type in the chat what comes to your mind when you think the word comes change. Lovely, lovely. So we have gotten the new normal, change as constant, change as growth, excitement. I said spicy, change as shifting, change as money, change as movement. Beautiful answers. So again, this will keep on getting. All right, Shirish, thank you so much for your time. See you next time. All right. So moving a bit closer to the idea of change, the activity here is to think of a small or a big moment when you helped a client or yourself navigating change. What was the most powerful thing that made that change possible? This is your time to think, reflect, and share beautiful stories with others. You can raise your hand and speak on the camera, whosoever is ready. Or if you want to type it out, that works too. Go ahead,
Uh,
Rahul.
yeah, so what happened with, I hope you cannot hear me.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, there's having a slight issue with the audio. So I I had to work with the client who had some changes to be made in their habits. This guy was a college graduate, postgraduate actually, in the fourth year finishing his thesis and all that, and wanted to do his PhD. He was in and out of smoking. I don't know. He was saying that every time I go to a tea shop, I see a cigarette, I get excited, and I get like that impulsive kind of a thing to take that cigarette, light it up, and smoke it. And I asked him, what did he want to change about it? So he said that I don't want that impulsive thing to control me. So I asked him, what do you want to do about it? He was like, I don't know. Like, how do you want to go about? I just gave him an idea. So imagine you're going to the tea shop and you're getting a tea and whatever snacks you want. And you see the cigarette and you say that envisioning technique I just used over here. So you see the cigarette and you say that, hey, it was nice meeting you earlier, but not today. How does that make you feel? How does that make you inhale? The earlier you used to inhale it from the cigarette and bring the smoke out, and it used to make you feel whatever at that point of time. But at this point of time, when you tell the cigarette, nice to meet you there, cigarette, and I'm not going to take you in with my tea this time. So there's a pause for about 20 seconds, and I just left him be in that space. And he came back saying that it makes me feel very different. I feel my lungs are lighter. I feel my lips are not black. I feel I don't get that high of smoking one more cigarette after my coffee. And I asked him, okay, so what is this all telling you? Like, I must not be very uh, impulsive to something which I now realize has made me become, I have made it a bad habit. Like, how do you describe that as a bad habit? Uh, he came to think, and he was thinking and then said that, smoking everybody says is bad. And I just went on with it because I couldn't take the college pressure and I need some outlet. And that's how that habit developed. And fine, that's great. You made that habit come into your life, and now you have reimagined that and come to a place where you're thinking from your future self and you're at your current self. saying that in future, when I see the cigarette, I will just say, hi, cigarette, thank you so much for the earlier experience. And how are you going to apply it in your present or current self? Again, he went into a loop of thought. He started with, I don't know. And I asked him, what can you do to make yourself know about it? So like, can I write about it? I was like, sure, go ahead with your space, use your time the way you want to. He wrote about it and he came back saying that, I actually drew an image of a cigarette. I actually drew myself holding a cigarette in my hand and a cup of tea as well. And what I did this time was instead of I was holding a cigarette in the right hand, a tea in the left hand. And this time I just dropped the cigarette and I felt, did I lose something? Was it very important for me dropping the cigarette? Was I very anxious that I didn't smoke it after buying it? Not at all. Something changed. Something told me that I don't need that to be a part of my life anymore. I enjoy the tea, the flavor of the tea, and I don't need that. When I swallow the tea, it's not that I have to follow it with a puff. I was like, what's that telling about you? It's just that I realized so many things when I was given that space, and I hadn't have this space with any kind of. I didn't have the space with talking to a friend or talking to anyone else in college. Everyone was like, yeah, let's go for chai, cigarette. Yeah, I was like, yeah, sure, okay, following them. But now when you ask me that, it just came to me in such a way, landed to me in such a way that I never saw it as a habit taking a toll on me. And right now, I feel so relieved that when I go to a tea shop, I just have tea, snacks, and come back. So that made the change possible for him, like a lot of awareness from within, not just about the side effect of smoking, but do I actually need a cigarette when I go to a tea shop?
Beautiful, Rahul. Thank you for sharing that. I think what I'm also hearing in this change and how you help your client navigate this changes, rather than being this precious thing that I feel attracted to, you just made it out to be the little object.
Yeah, actually, he felt more of it. Yeah, we all know coaching is a space for the client. So I just wanted him to use it as much as possible. And he was saying that I have a challenge when we started with smoking as such, going back and forth on it. So I was like, what do you want to do about it? You can completely discuss over here and, whatever is your outcome, we'll get there. But what's the process? Focus on that. And he completely jumped into it and took it forward.
Great. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Bharat. Hopefully, see
Thank
you
you so
next
much.
time. Urmila, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to share a short story which happened recently. One of my clients picked up a new role, and in the new role, she was expected to address a big gathering of people multiple times in a month because it's a leadership role. And all that she told me in confidence in the coaching session is, all of this agenda that we're talking about, all of that is fine. I'm going to make progress there. Um, to be very honest to you, I can't say this to my organization. I can't say this to my boss, but I'm really afraid of stage. I'm afraid of facing a big gathering of people. So can you help me as a coach to navigate through that? And I felt in that moment that, sometimes small little things like this can hold people back because she had nowhere to go with the role. It came with an expectation. I agreed to spend one session with her on that particular topic. Interestingly, we started deep diving into what happens exactly to her in terms of physical symptoms when she's standing on the stage. Uh, and I asked her a few questions to her about those, and she said, yeah, my knees shake, I go weak, my voice is not strong, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, let's think one by one about what we can do to address these physical, limitations when you come to the stage. But why do you think these are happening? These are symptoms. What's happening in your mind is something that you need to deep dive. And then we went into a lot of things of her own beliefs, her own upbringing, how she was shy, in terms of speaking in public. And interestingly, she was expert in her domain, but because she was a leader, she was expected to face this challenge as well. When we made a strategy, I told her to practice in a smaller way. I gave her some tips and techniques also, because I was not wearing a coach's hat anymore. I wanted to really help her in seeing there are different possibilities. So in the session, while I was coaching her, I said, I'm going to remove the hat if that's okay with you, and tell you what works for me. And she was very happy to receive that. And we built strategies, and I heard from her that, the following few sessions that she did beautifully well. And over the period of 6 months, she realized that it was not that hard as it was thought through.
Beautiful story, Urmila.
Thank
So fair to say for the audience, if next time any of us are about to face an audience and we feel those jitters, we might come to Urmila. All right.
Urmila, I have a question for Urmila.
Yes,
So,
please.
Urmila, what made you switch from coaching to probably your teaching or mentoring hat?
Good question. I like the question. So the thing is that it was coming from fear, and she had no experience of knowing or doing things that my coaching questions could have led her think about possible solutions. So of course, initially I went the coaching route of asking, what happens if this? Why is it so important to you? But at some point she said, all of this understanding is fine, but when I stand on the stage, the fear comes. And so I just need somebody to tell me that this is possible with some tips and techniques. And since you do a lot of stage presentations, I wanted to hear from you your experiences. So that's when I decided to really look at some of my own experiences to be shared as well. But of course, that was with the client's request and permission. Like I said, this was not in the overall coaching agenda, but it was a big change for her. And I didn't wanted my client to feel that, she's left with no possibilities.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Thank you, Urmila.
Thank you.
All right. Does anybody else want to share about a small or a big moment for themselves or for their client when they help somebody navigate a change?
I could share my observation. I find that clients that is able to shift and change, the one common denominator is the willingness to be very, very open and vulnerable. The minute that they feel safe to be vulnerable, they will be able to, they can go deeper. And that's the common theme I see in most of that client's transformation for me. The willingness to be open and not be afraid of being judged. And the willingness to trust and to have that trust with the coach that allows them to go deeper. Recently, I had just one client. He is very much he comes from factory background, so it's really an engineering kind of background, very much in the head. And So whatever the theory say, yes, I am doing that. I am empathetic. I am this. I am that, and other. And when he was a bit more open, then I challenged him about what he means by all this. Then I share with him an article about judgment and being empathetic and disciplined. Then he said that was a big aha moment for me, because I always thought I am here, but I realized that I put the blinkers on because I was not going inside. So yeah, so it's really allowing themselves to be vulnerable, to reach out inside them, that allows that change.
Thank you, Mehul. Would it be possible for you to share that article on the group as well?
Okay, I can share that in the coaching journey.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Mehul. All right. We have 20 minutes more left on the call, so let's get to the last activity of the evening, which
Shall
is
I,
the
shall I
coach.
share one of my own experiences of change and what really brought that change?
Yes, Urmila.
Um, I was a scuba diver when I was young. I learned it very early, but I had met with a big accident and I almost lost my life and I was rescued. So that fear stayed with me for many, many years. Um, of course, I was swimming after that also, but I never ventured into scuba diving. And when my daughter was born, I said, she's a great swimmer. I must introduce her to the scuba world. And so I took her along when she turned 10 to experience that. And I said, I'm also going to overcome my fear. And I did a lot of mental preparation. I said, I know all of this. Now I'm much older, I'm much better. Things are going to change. And as luck could have it, I had a young coach who was supposed to take me and guide me. We did all the practice session in the swimming pool, and then we actually went to the ocean, and the ocean was very rough that day. And till the time we got there, I was all in enthu mood, and I said, "Okay, today it's going to happen. I'm going to overcome all my fears." But in reality, when I jumped into the water, and he made me hold the life rope, and he said, "Give me a few minutes. I'm just coming back." I don't know where he vanished. Maybe he had forgotten something. He needed to bring something. But in those few seconds, he must have gone maybe for just 2 minutes. But in those 2 minutes, all my memory of, drowning and how I almost lost my life came back. And I started panicking. And I said, no, I'm not doing this at all. And I started, pushing him, saying, I want to go back to the boat. I removed my, gadgets. And then, interestingly, that young boy said two interesting things. First thing he said was, ma'am, you got here because you always wanted to do this. If you go now, you will never come back. So that was quite a turning point that he said, if you go now, you'll never come back. And I said, yes, if I go now, I'll never gather the courage again to come back. And the second thing, interestingly, he said to me was, ma'am, do you trust me? And I said to myself, I have a guided person walking with me, swimming with me in the ocean. He has coached me. I have to somewhere show that trust and let go my fear. And then after that, it was a smooth entry to the ocean. And now I am a certified advanced scuba diver. So thanks to him for those thought-provoking 2 questions.
Beautiful story. Thank you so much for sharing this.
Thank
All right. So, with this, we'll move to the last activity for the evening. This is a reflection activity called Coach to Coach. Often, the change we most resist is the change we most need, as very much explicitly shared with Urmila's story, right? And we need change to become a better coach and a better human. So we'll take 2 minutes in silence to reflect on what change are you currently resisting right now in your life or work. And whenever you're ready with the answer, you can raise your hand and you can start responding by saying the sentence. Yeah? So let's take a minute. This is a reflective activity. All right, we have some beautiful, honest answers rolling in. So the context is already set that we, as a coach, there is that logical part of us that realizes that change is growth, change is important, change is excitement, yet we are all struggling with one format of change in our personal and professional life. So, how about we take this minute and vocalize our fears, vocalize what is it that we are struggling with? We may or may not find the answer today, but speaking it out loud is definitely going to help. So, who wants to get started? I think Priya, would it be possible for you to be on camera or share what you shared on the chat? All right, all right. So I'll take up Priya's question, and I think um, Rahul has agreed to it. Gabby's question is also related to that. When it comes to charging our clients, we are struggling with changing from pro bono to going paid, because somewhere it feels like it's not an honest transaction, it becomes a business transaction. In Gabby's case, she's resisting the change of charging enough for the coaching because sometimes the fear says that I cannot guarantee results, so how do I charge this much? Beautiful. Anybody wants to give them, I wouldn't say advice, but something that they've experienced themselves as coaches who are charging money? If anybody would like to share their 2 cents on how to get started on working this belief and manage this
I
change,
I can share because
please
I
do.
went through the same dilemma. I was doing pro bono coaching for many months. Obviously, because it was clients within the organization, I was anyways on a paid job. But when I started being a freelancer, I felt it was not appropriate for me to charge when I made these personal connections, and they're coming to me because they know me as a person. So to do the transition, I made a resolution. I said to them that this is my bread and butter now. But what I suggest is, I know that, probably you are coming to me because you know me. So you see the value in my coaching. And towards the end, you can make the payment if you really feel good about the whole, interaction and conversation. So I didn't make it a mandatory contract. I made it a bit flexible by telling them what's expected and how these charges are. For a couple of clients, I even said a nominal amount because I knew that they were struggling with, um, layoff and job loss. So I said to them that I will not give it for free, but yes, I will take some nominal amount, whatever they feel appropriate that they can pay me, and that's how I made the engine start in terms of making my pro bono into the converted clients for paid.
Beautiful. I hope that was helpful. If you guys have more questions or comments, please go ahead. Meanwhile, I'll share my experience as well. So I started coaching. I had left my corporate job, so in my case, it was going to be my bread and butter. And anyways, coaches know how expensive coach training is. So once you've invested, you really want to start earning back. So the way I started was, of course, I started with pro bono. And while I was gaining my confidence, I was exploring my toolkit, I was gaining enough success case studies. I also started offering low bono, which is a minimal amount. The client feel comfortable paying it, and I also feel that okay, my hour is being charged with certain amount. So I started with low bono sessions, and over time, this is I think this personally I'm speaking to you, Priya, because I know what an amazing coach you are. I think over time, what I started learning while I interacted with my clients was that even though you can think of it as a business transaction, more importantly, it's an energy transaction. I am spending my time, I'm spending my energy with somebody to help them in their journey. And if they don't feel like paying me back in terms of money, maybe they can send me a referral. Maybe they can we can go out for a coffee. We can, they can gift me the coaching books that I've been wanting to buy, and that's something that few of my friends did because they know coaching is expensive affair, right? So I think it's a little bit about also working on our mindset as coaches that it need not be a business transaction. It could be something more beautiful, more caring, even when we add the money into the equation. Yeah. Anybody else want to talk about the change they are resisting? All right. So we just have 5 more minutes.
Yes.
So I can talk about Mammon, you want to go?
Yeah, I also for Priya, um when you start looking at charging, also check in with yourself. What does charging means to you? You know, why are you resisting that? Because a lot of times, we feel that I'm giving back because it seems to be like this is such an altruistic work that we are doing, and we feel, my experience when I first started, that was the stumbling block I need to go to really overcome. Was it felt like it's not right to charge something that you want to give back, because it comes from sincerely from inside of us. We want to help. And that was my stumbling block. So check in with yourself. What is really your stumbling block? Apart from the physicality of the charging, what's stopping you from wanting to charge?
Great. So I think Priya, you and Mehmood can take this together. If you need, we can, Urmila and I can also join you for that conversation.
Loved it the way Mehmood came up with this,
Yeah.
and do a little bit more reflection as to what's holding you back. Yeah, lovely.
All right. Jesse, is it possible for you to drop your question on the chat? We just have 3 minutes and I would like to conclude.
Yeah, I've already put it in chat, so we
Okay.
can go on. Yeah.
All right. So, people who've noted Jesse's question, if you guys have any tips, any suggestions, please respond to Jesse. Meanwhile, I would like to once again congratulate and thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming to this space, making this a lively conversation. I know change is a tricky topic. It starts out as an interesting affair that we can share with others, but when it comes to ourselves, we are somewhere struggling with some format of change. So, thank you so much for your authenticity, for your vulnerability, and lovely responses. Um, this is it for today's monthly Coach Connect. If you guys enjoyed today's session, I would really, really appreciate if you can drop one message on the conversations group about how your experience was. That would encourage more coaches to join us, and that would just enrich our conversations here. Yeah. Any last comments, feedback, anything before we close up?
All good, Jess. Thank you so much for the space, and you've done it really, really well. Really
Thank you.
enjoyed being here with you and everyone else. You brought us all together. You made sure that, yeah, whatever vulnerability or whatever something personal which we wanted to share, we made us very comfortable. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you so much, Jazz, and everybody else for lovely connect.
Yeah. Thank you, Urmila. All right.
Jazz, one suggestion I was having. So the participation is a little low in a lot of our meetings. So I'm just thinking of having some kind of collaboration with some other groups. Maybe there are more groups like CJ. Can we advertise there also, or something like that? Something
Just
which you may.
Yeah, I think that's a really valid question, something we are already looking for. Let's take this up in the builders or the ambassadors group with other builders.
I'm not part of it, I guess. So maybe you can take it up. Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I'll add you there. Right, Jesse, and I think you guys sharing your feedback from today's session will be a very, very big encouragement for others to join. So if you can take a minute, please drop a message on the conversations group.
You want to bring in a change to CJ's cohort? We have to comment on the group.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Lovely time. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good rest of the
Bye.
day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
I'll see you guys in May. Bye-bye.